Attention, please.
It's
The
9
show
o'clock.
starts
PM.
in 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go.
Oh, it's 9 p.m. the 25th of May, would you believe? So we've got another week before, less than a week. So next Sunday is going to be the 1st of June, would you believe? Anyway, I thought what I'd do first, it's not many times that I sponsor anybody, because they don't sponsor me. And that's, it's a free magazine. You get paper. It's a paper, not a magazine. You get this, hangs around most of the bars and whatever, but it's pretty good. And I just thought I'll just read this out because it's got to be positive here in Spain. Anyway, Brick Community returns. And this is only talking about a week ago. It's not like 10 years ago. Costa Calada, Murcia's sun-drenched coastline is currently witnessing a positive surge in its British expat community for the first time since Brexit, or before Brexit, drawn by affordability, culture, and coastal charm and the community. Recent estimates suggest 700 to 1,500 British nationals have moved to the Costa Calada in the past year. And funny enough, a lot of them are in the Mazaron area. Anyway, hey, that's good, isn't it? Is it believable? That's what I want to know. Mind you, he did say, obviously, another place was the Los Alcázares, San Avia, and Cartagena. So there you go. See, bit of good news there, and it's free. But can you believe it? So anyway, so it's gone 9 p.m. now. I've got 9 comments in. I've got 31 if you're watching, so don't forget those thumbs. Be generous tonight, eh? No notifications again this morning. I know, Keith, you're just one of the many. I just understand YouTube. They want people to watch you, and then they just don't bother to give you a notification. But well done. Hopefully, I mean, I don't think YouTube watch these things, do they really? But anyway, thanks for that. Sorry about that, Keith. As they say, better luck next Sunday. Ian, good evening. Jane, hi, Sean. Can you? I'll do some questions in a minute. I'll be honest, guys. Tonight I've got loads. I don't honestly think I'll be getting through all the questions tonight. So if I don't get through all the questions, and I've just noticed, I printed out. There's nothing on it. Hopefully, I got 3 sheets there. I've got 3 sheets. Anyway, loads of questions, but also I've got a couple of questions in there as well. So I'll try and get on it as much as I can. So I've got how are we doing? Right. So Jan's saying, Sean, can you or any of the group recommend a local taxi pickup from Murcia Airport next Sunday? Funny you should say that. There's a if you go to the Facebook group, I'm talking about Paguntis. Now for some reason I can't get hold of it on my expat thing. There is a coach now apparently. You go online, and if anybody's watching knows what that coach is, it's only just started up lately. And apparently you can do it online. You can book when your flight's coming in. I don't think it costs a lot. It will pick you up from the airport and take you to Camposol or other places around the Murcia region. But unfortunately, I've got no info on that. So, but hopefully somebody watching this might be able to help. I think another one is Condado taxis. And obviously there's always going to be a taxi at the airport usually, but I know if there's a load of people coming off, they only have like 3 or 4. But I know there's this new coach company that I can't think of at the moment, but hopefully, Jan, that'll get you sorted. Colin, good evening. I was too late for the see. You got to get anyway. I was late today. It was nearly midday before I come live. I'll give you a lot of chance, and I think I had 37 of you. So in there tonight, in the lucky Yogi's hat is 37 for the magnet, the free magnet. So we get on with that. Simon, he had a fantastic day in Mazaron, good. Ola, Sean says Jim, Howard, top man. Gavin, Polisky's in as well. The Flyboy's in as well. Good evening. Cyril's in. Bengal Bert's in. Evening, says Ian and Mr. Polisky. Has the switch gone yet? Asking the question. Wayne's in. Top man. Des is in as well. Well done. Mr. Camposol. I don't know if I like to be referred to as Mr. Camposol, but top man Des. Annika's in as well. Big thumbs up from Devon. Well done, Devon. I love Devon. Devon Cream. Are they bringing tea and Kit Kats for Sean? Are they all bringing? Yes, they are, Keith. Because I had a visitor yesterday called Jim, and he dropped off some Kit Kats and Yorkshire tea. And today, I nearly forgot your name then, John. John bought me a cup of coffee and a bacon sandwich with ketchup, which was very nice, I must say. And we had a good old chat. If you're on there tonight, John, maybe you've fallen asleep because it's been a long day, innit, for us old people. And you're older than me anyway. So no doubt you are asleep, John. You're probably going to watch this tomorrow. Okay, so we got right, and Gavin said we have a 13-year-old son. We're staying in Camposol for a week. And I think, Gavin, that's in the questions. So I'll be answering that in a moment. But I might as well get on with it now, thinking about it, because like I said, I've got a lot to do. And it's already 10 minutes in. We've got 28. Is that all? But 28 likes, hopefully. So anyway, the first question, funny enough, is by Kev. What would you say the temperatures would need to be for you to say the switch has gone? Okay, so I can safely say it hasn't gone yet, only because this year, and I've spoken to many people, the weather has been pretty pants, and I think in the early morning it's still been a bit chilly. Even though I'll be honest, I've got my shorts on now, but I've still got my socks on. But looking at the weather for next week, even though I think it's going to get a little bit cloudy end of the week, we're in the 30s. So I reckon next week, Kev, it's got to be in the 30s. 20s, nah, it's got to be in the 30s. Now, even though some people have already said they're in the pool, Sean, get in the pool. No way, it's too cold for me. But yeah, I think, Kev, and I'll post it on the on the YouTube saying that the switch has gone. But at the moment, the switch ain't gone yet. But it is getting there. Unless we have a sudden cold spell, because the other day we had another heavy downpour. The temperature dropped down to about 16. So I reckon, Kev, next week, and I think you've got to be in the 30s for the switch. Okay, so we've done that. Bengal Bert's got next question here. Right, what is the rough estimate of an annual cost of running a pool, i.e., maintenance, chemicals, getting the pool man in, and frequency act? I think I typed that wrong somehow. I know it depends on the size, but what would it be roughly? Okay, but like you said, the main thing, it all depends on the size of the pool. If you've got one of those dip pools, it's going to be really cheap. But if you've got a normal size pool, which I think we're talking like 4x8, I'm talking about meters. And you mentioned the pool man, see, so it's two questions there really, Bengal Bert. And I would say, if you got a pool bloke in, and don't forget that pool got the pool man or the pool lady, because there are pool ladies out there, we're talking over €50 a week. No, I got that wrong. 50. It's over €50 a month. I think ours charges something near that figure. I'm not going to say who it is, because there's loads of them doing it out there. And I worked it out because in the summertime, I'm probably talking about from end of June through to August, they'll be coming like 2 or 3 times a week. One, to keep the pool topped up. Two, to make sure the pool's clean. And also the pump's going to be on most of the day as well. So I worked it out, which I was quite amazed really. We're talking 2.5 grand a year, and that's the cheapest. Or could be near on 3.5 grand a year. All more, like you said, but depending on if it's a big pool, it's obviously going to cost you more. Now, if you do it yourself, it's going to cost you a lot less. And I put on there under 1,000, probably even less than that. Now, if you check on my playlist on my YouTube channel, I went over to Steve, Steve and Mandy. They've got a pool. Steve, he showed me what he does. Because we got a pool man now that does our pool, but Steve does it himself. Saves him a big cost. I can't remember. I think we've done that video a couple of years back, but I know it was a lot less than 1,000 because all we're doing really is the chemicals. That's all you got to pay for. But don't forget, guys, on top of all this, even with the pool man or the pool lady, you still got to pay the electric. And that pump, I can safely say, and the swimming pool is a luxury. That's all I can say. But also, when you are looking at villas here in Spain, and you look at a villa that's got a pool, looks amazing. You look at a villa that ain't got a pool, it doesn't look amazing, guys. There's no point in saying, oh, well, I don't need a pool. Honestly, if you've got a pool, or you see your mates have got a pool, you want a pool. If it's got a pool there already, that's a bonus. But as in, you're talking about 25 grand upwards now to put a pool in. But it does come with expense. So that's what you've got to think about. And I know, I've noticed now with all these new builds, they put a pool in, but when they say it's a pool, it's more like a dip pool. It's not a pool. They're like baths, a giant bath. But anyway, yeah. So, Bengal Burt, 2.5 grand, or maybe, I don't know, something. Now, I think Kev's got a massive pool, and I think he does it himself. Now, probably Kev will put up a price, but well under 1,000. But then you got to put the electric on top of that. I don't know, €50 maybe. I don't know. In the summer on about, not now. But yeah, it's a luxury. I mean, at the end of the day, it's your decision really. So let's have a look because we're getting through all the questions. Two big thumbs up. We haven't got the Devon bit yet. Great pool. Yes, I'll mention that as well. I'm going to be mentioning that later on, Brian, about the pool. Mandy awake. Well done, Mandy. I mean, it's only 9:15. You should, or 8:15 if you're watching it from the UK. Tony's popped in as well. Okay, so we're back. I'm up to date with all the thingies there, the questions. I've got 34 now, so I've got to have 34 likes by now because it's coming at 8:15. So Paula's asking, what are the names of the mountains and hills that you can see from Camposol all around? I didn't see that all around bit. Paula, God knows. Because the mountains and the hills here in Spain are very much like the beaches. To me, it's just one big long beach all along the coast. They have so many different names. I think Mazaron's got like 12 beaches, but they're all connected. And to me, that's like the mountains. The biggest mountain that you're going to see out your window, looking, depending on where you're positioned, is the Sierra Spooner. That's the one that's got the radar station. If you've got good eyesight like me, you can see the radar station, and that mountain is massive. But all the other hills and mountains around, I ain't got a clue. And I'll be honest, even when you look on the map, and you've got to have a proper military map, which are pretty hard to get off in Spain, or ordnance survey. You don't see the ordnance survey maps are the army maps there. And to be honest, I ain't got a clue. they're just called hills and mountains. But the Sierra Spooner is the biggest that you're going to see out your window, depending how you're looking at it. But you could be looking at the sea, couldn't you? And they've got those big mountains there. So anybody else that knows what all the mountains are, stick it in the comments. Right, and that's how we're doing. Sean, is there already? All right, hang on. This is what we got here. Tony's asking: is there already some better news from the hospital here on Camposol? Do you want to know? Do you want to know? The latest news about the hospital is it's still closed. And from what I can hear, I've been hearing they're going to turn it into a cinema. I don't know if that's true. That's the gossip at the moment. That the new hospital is going to be turned into a expat community cinema. No, it's not really. No, nothing. Not a sauce. It's become like the hotel now. What's happening to the hotel? Nothing. So the hospital, nothing. What a waste! What a waste of 11 million euros. Do the Spanish care? I don't think so. Yeah, not a sausage. Colin says that the mountain ranges are Snowdonia, Ben Nevis are the ranges. But I can safely say, Colin, they're definitely not here. And thankfully, even though, funny enough, you just mentioning this, on the top of the Espuna, we actually got snow whales. But snow is very, what's the word for it now? Now, this year, as far as I know, I don't think we had any snow up there. But no. Tony is saying, yeah, in the cinema. Okay, so have I caught up with everybody? Yes, I'm back to catching up there. So anyway, next one is Gavin. Right, and I think Gavin did answer this in the spiel there, and that's: is there much for teenagers, many young teens on Camposol, wondering, as we are staying for a week in June with a view to buy and our sons for in. To be honest, it's not, it's for old people, but there are funny enough, there's a lot of younger people living here, and in the morning the school buses that come onto A to pick up the kids, I think now we've got 3 coaches. So possible in years to come we will get a school built supposedly on C, but for the kids, what I've done here, if you go over to Sector D, you got the football pitch, which is also, I think, like a basketball. I'm not too sure if anybody can just walk in there, because usually when I've gone past, it's usually got a lock on it. But the Camposol Free Community Sports, they do a lot of events during the week, and I would imagine during the summertime that they probably put on events. Because I have seen kids over there playing football, like in teams and whatever, and I think they're organised by that. So make a note of Camposol Free Community Sports. Look on Facebook. They've got their own page. Oh yeah, and another good thing to worth having, Gavin, is there's an app, and it's free, but it's only for this area, the Mazaron area, and it's called Hello Events. 2 words, Hello Events. You can download it off your Android or iOS phone, but it's only in this area, guys. Don't do it from the UK because you won't get nothing. And what it is if I can show you, because I did this the other day trying to show what's on the screen. So it's called Hello Events. It's, like I said, it's free. You might get a picture of it. So that's the sort of the symbol. That's it. So it's just letting me. And what it does when it works, it does work. Okay, so it's got the Mazaron and Almeria area. It tells you what's on every day for the week. So today, obviously, which we just had the Cats Bar thing. That every Sunday we have some music going on, and then you got Bonnie Bon, whatever that is. There's always something going on. You got a day trip, which they obviously done today. They did a day trip, which is the Torquelia. God, I have problems with that word. tickets. That's the coach company. Now, the coach company's actually got an office now on A, and you can go in there and you can book a coach trip out. So that's something else you could do, because they do like trips to. I think the splashdown thing in Murcia is open now, so the kids could go there. And you got loads of bands and singing going on. So yeah, I know events really useful. The app is free. But other than that, oh yeah, I mean I don't think the 13-year-old would like going down to the play park. I don't know, might do. Got the play park there. There's not a lot more going on really, but there are kids hanging around. Yeah. I don't know what kids do, don't they? Whatever they go around exploring something like that. But worth checking out the Camposol Free Community Sports, because they do loads of things. Obviously, I don't think they'd be interested in walking football, but I know they do football with the kids. So there you are, see, Gavin, there is something. As long as you've got transport, that's the main thing. Don't come here to Camposol on your feet. You need some form of transport to get about, because, like I said before, Camposol's like a town. It's massive. So let's have a look now. Football club coaching on. Yep, that's another thing I've noticed. Yeah, you're right, Brian. There's coaching on the Condado for the kids, so that's worth checking out as well. As long as there is Wi-Fi. Well, that's very true. But you can always use your phone stuff, can't you? Right. So how can I watch Camposol TV? Says Tom. Hang on, let's get that right. There it is. Yes. So on there, obviously you can watch Camposol TV. Oh, I'd have to look at this. So you can watch Camposol TV on YouTube. You can go on to now. I believe they were talking about you can download the app. But as far as I know, I don't know if that's still on. Now, if you've got CompuServe internet, you can go onto onto their channel. It'll be on there, obviously. Twitch, whatever that is, some youngster thing, isn't it? It'll be on there. And obviously, if you go on to Facebook, I believe, and I presume that Camposol TV got their own Facebook group now that you can go on to. So you can watch it that way. And from what I can see, they got something going on every day. They have certain things. I think one day it's about history, history of Camposol, about when the Romans were here. And I think today it was, what's his name? The security guy. I forget his name now. God. Anyway, it was about security today, I think. And I think another day they do about golf. And they also do a thing about when I mentioned about the Hello events, tell you what's going on in the week. Because obviously, a lot of the bars put on a lot of music on for people to have a sing song, get involved. So check it out. Camposol. I'm not on it, but you can check it out. Camposol TV. I believe. Yeah, check it. The best thing to do is go onto YouTube, put in Camposol TV, and it'll come straight up. So there you are, Tom. Have I caught up? Yes, I've caught up, everybody. It's coming up to nearly half past. It'll be soon to pick the free magnet. So, Gavin, I did that. Right, Glenn. Oh, bloody hell, Glenn. Right, Glenn's asking, how much does it cost to tax your car? Now, funny enough, in the week, Glenn, because we got two cars. My wife's got I'll call it a jalopy. It's an old banger. It's about 20 years old. And I think her car tax was 120, whereas my car tax was, I think it was 38. And what they tend to do, I've left it upstairs, Glenn, sorry about that. What they tend to do, you get a piece of paper, and at the top there'll be a barcode. And what I love about here, I don't know what you do in the UK now. I think you go online, don't you, to pay for yours? But you can go online and pay for it. But what I like is a barcode at the top of the letter. You go down to the cash machine. I'm talking about the Casa one, because they got this facility on their machine, and you just stick your envelope or your letter onto the barcode reader, and you pay it that way. And I quite enjoyed doing it that way. And I think you got until June 15th. I think that 15 sticks in my brain to pay it by. So yeah, it didn't cost a lot. Unfortunately, from what I hear, even if you got one of those eco cars, you know, the electric things, you still got to pay. It's not Nothing's free these days, is it? They say when I think when the electric car came out, everything was going to be free, but now they're making you pay for it. I would say it's probably the same as the UK. Really, in can't. It's nothing. It's not. Oh, I can't afford to pay it. And obviously here you can't pay it monthly. You got to pay it in one whack. Okay, so I've done that. We got anything else? No, no more comments there. Good. Let's have a quick check. Got 33 in the house, so give me an idea because I can't see, guys, how many likes I got. So if I got 33 likes, that's fantastic. Now I got down to 31 people now. Let's go back onto another question. Okay, Annika is asking me, I heard, but correct me if I'm wrong, that the Spanish government wanted to put a ban on renting out holiday homes for foreign investors, stroke owners not living in Spain. Have you heard about it? Not really, Annika. So I had to go online for this. And to be quite honest, this is probably going to take a while. Because obviously there's a load of videos up at the moment on YouTube about, oh, we're going to pay 100% tax. Oh, the death and gloom of everything. That energy efficiency palaver. What better sell your house? Spain speaks a lot of garbage at the government sayings. I mean, they're all trying to make themselves well known, and when it goes through Parliament, it just gets thrown out. But anyway, at the moment, there's not a total ban. And I think there was another thing the other day about the Airbnbs. They said that they shut down, I don't know, thousands of them. That was a load of misinformation. They have shut down some of the Airbnbs because there is a lot of what they call clone Airbnbs, and obviously they don't want people to get conned. But anyway, going back to this this question here from Annika about putting a ban on renting out holiday homes. Now, it didn't say anything about Airbnbs. This is something a little bit different. Anyway, the Spanish government is focusing on regulating short-term rentals in areas where housing is scarce or unaffordable. I mean, it's the same all over now, even in the UK. And this includes requiring licenses for tourist rentals, restricting the number of short-term rentals in a community, limiting the number of nights properties can be rented for. So this is something they have been talking about over the past year and that. And as always, each region, I think there's 17 different regions in Spain, and local governments, they all have their rules, but they're trying to make this a national thing with the housing. The government's goal is to combat the housing crisis by increasing availability of long-term rentals for locals and preventing exploitation of housing on short-term tourists. And I know that's true because I know some of the people that, you know, been living in Spain for years with mum and dad's come over and the kids are grown up. They've got married, they got families, they can't afford to buy a property because the wages here are a lot lower, remember. And trying to get a long-term rental is a nightmare because obviously when the holiday season kicks in, everybody's doing the short-term rentals. So it is an ongoing thing here in Spain. Foreign investors, while not banning foreign investors from owning a property, the new regulations will make it more difficult for them to rent out their properties for short-term tourism. So that's another thing. And I know this is right because some of my friends who've got Airbnbs, they have made that law a lot harder now, trying to get a license now because they want to make sure the property's got all the stuff in there, you know, the fire extinguisher, the aircon, which they should have, really. So they're trying to enforce that. Community approval, in some cases, house owners associations will have the power to limit or prohibit short-term rentals from within their communities. Now, that's another thing here in Spain. You're going to hear a lot is the community charge, because also that's a community group, and that group there has got the right. And we're talking about a block of maybe apartment block or a street, and whoever is in charge of that will ask everybody in that street. Old Fred down the road wants to rent out his place. He's got to get permission, and this is something they don't tell you about on the Place in the Sun. And they'll say, no, we don't have it. We don't want people running around. This is our little street. And this is another thing that doesn't get talked about a lot here in Spain. But anyway, there's something that the government's trying to enforce, but Spain takes things. It's a manana thing. It takes a couple of years. Anyway, in some case, regional differences. Enforcement will vary from region in Spain, sort of which I just said. So it's important to understand the specific rules for the area when you're buying a property. So that's something else that if you're thinking about buying a property, obviously for the people that can't get on a non-lucrative visa and they're thinking about buying a holiday thing, and not maybe the old estate agents say, yeah, boy, you can rent it out, make some money on it. But they don't tend to tell you, and you have to. This is where I say you always got to ask. If you don't ask, they're not going to tell you. Ask about these sort of things, because some areas are not. I'm not on about just Mazaron. I'm on about different parts of Spain, because do you get lots of people from the Americas? You got to ask, guys, and ask what the rules are. Hopefully, they will tell you. So just remember that. So good question, that Annika. But at the moment, they're not enforcing it. It's just talk, as always, and no doubt once it does take effect, you'll soon know about it. But at the moment, like lots of other things, 100% tax holics. So anyway, how are we getting on? Right, tourist licenses from the councils. You can rent. Communities get a vote on how many retails. All right, we got Deb in there. Even sure, would you say the cost of living in Spain is cheaper than the UK? Yes. I mean, I'll be honest, things have gone up in Spain. There's no doubt about that. Food's gone up. Every day sort of general stuff has gone up. But when you add it all up, it's still a lot cheaper than the UK. Funny enough, when I was speaking to John today, and we was talking about when I was there, when we're going back nearly 10 years, where I was paying monthly payments for my gas, my electric, my TV, my phone, everything. You bring money in one hand and it goes out the other, and you got hardly anything left. You can still go out cheaply. I mean, I went out last week. I must have gone out last week, eating out 3 or 4 times. And it wasn't like, there are places here in Spain you can get conned in a sense. What they tend to do here is the drinks. The drinks you don't obviously see the drinks on the bill when you're looking at the menu. You can get a really cheap menu, and what they tend to do is whack up the drinks prices without you knowing about it, or add on extra tax that I mentioned when Yogi come over. So you've got to be careful when you're going out and about. But look at the menu properly, and hopefully on the bottom of the menu it will say about any additional charges. But yeah, it's still a lot cheaper living here than it would be in the UK. Do you know if it's possible to rent a motorhome from Murcia Airport? Des? Motorhome, I don't know. I mean, funny enough, we've been thinking about hiring out a camper van. I know there is a company. I can't think of it because I ain't really checked out the prices. There are companies about. I don't know if you can get it from the airport, but like you said, I would imagine if by just searching on the internet, they'd probably be able to drop it off at the airport for you. But I don't know any personal. But anybody else who knows about you can rent out motorhomes, chuck it below or chuck it in the comments there. So we caught up again. We've got 38. We're going up now. 38 in the. Oh, right. I just noticed the time. It's It's gone 9:30 now. It's the time for the free magnet Sunday, and I'm just getting it all laid out because, as always, because I'm a left-hander, it mixes me up. So I've got to go over to the music and do the drum. Yeah. I've got one. I've got one. I've got one. Who is it? Who's that? Is that Lefty? Does it say Lifty? I've got my hand over that, haven't I? What have I got enough? Oh, there it is. There it is. Got this. SK Lifty. Lifty. Well done, SK. SK Lifty. Obviously, that's not your real name, like many people that are on here. So there you are. You got your free magnet. It does work. I don't know if you. Yeah, I've got one on me Kit Kat tin over there. Does work. So SK Lifty. All I need is your real name, because I don't believe that's your real name, and obviously your home address. It'd be great if you lived just down the road, but if you don't, I need your home address. And the best way of contacting me, SK Lifty, is on my Instagram account, which is obviously Expat and Mazaron. You can message me on that, or you can actually message me, or if you want, you can go onto my YouTube channel, which you hopefully you're on at the moment. And if you go onto my about page at the bottom, there will be a link. It won't show it, but there'll be a link because I want to make sure you're not spamming me for my email address. So, well done, SK Lifty. So, I'm going to put that here so I don't forget about it. So I don't get mixed up. So, that's done now. I can go back to the comments because I've already got. Oh, I got a couple of comments. That's right. All right. What we got there? Des was asking about. Oh, yep. Congratulations, says Des. Well done, Des. As always, next time. Right. So, where was we? We were just on Annika's question. Ethan. Okay. Here's another one. I'll get this one asked every now and again. I'll be honest. Is it illegal to wash your car yourself, or this is not allowed? Okay, what I will say straight away before I read the spill out, it does depend on what region you are. But here this part of Spain, you're not allowed to wash your car in the street. I think you can. I'm not going to say you can, but you obviously you've got it in your carport. You can wash your car there, but I don't want to swear on that. But to be honest, the car washes there are dirt cheap. They're not like those Polish. Sorry for you Polish people, but I can always remember back in the UK when I used to go into those empty garages and there'd be a Polish crew there. It's probably Russians now, isn't it? And they wash your car for a tenner. Well, here costs you like. I mean, I usually put in €3. Give it the polishy stuff and wash it all off. €3. So yeah, you're not allowed to do it in the street. So I'll just read the spill here. Many municipalities or many regions in Spain prohibit washing or repairing vehicles in public areas. So even repairing your vehicle in the street, you can get done. They don't even like you. If you get a puncture on the road, they rather you call. I think it's called the Guardia. And what it is, when you got a car insurance here in Spain, it comes with it. It comes with a recovery service, and you phone them up. They come out. They'll fix your car on the spot, sort of thing. Sometimes I've seen it if it's a big vehicle. The police come out as well, and the police will, make sure that there'd be no accidents or nothing. But they don't like you even doing it, repairing a tire in the road, especially on a motorway. But anyway, yeah, if you get caught doing either in the street or public parking spot, you could be fined between €30 to €30,000, depending on the local laws. That's what I'm saying. Here in Spain, something else I don't tell you on that place in the sun, 17 different regions, if you didn't know. All little governments have got their own little rules. So when you are buying a place, just check them out. But cleaning your car on the street, I think, from what I know, you're not anywhere. So, Ethan, don't clean your car on the street. Take it to the car wash. So, have you got anything else coming up? I didn't normally get first as Bengal Bert, yeah, top man. Hi, Sean from Torvecker, says Yabis. What's the weather like down in Torvecker? Nice. It's been a nice day today, hasn't it? It's been lovely and sunny. So, next question is from Annika. Okay. Now, I presume, Annika, that you're Dutch. In English and Dutch programs about Brits moving to other European countries, and the same goes for the Dutch programs, without any planning, and sometimes also without thinking it through, wanting to start a bed and breakfast. Have you ever met one of these people? Do you know how they manage? The grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. Now, to be honest, I haven't met anybody that's been running a bed and breakfast. And to be honest, I've never actually seen that advertised. That expression, bread and breakfast. I mean, obviously in the UK and probably other parts of Europe, maybe bed and breakfast is the in thing. But here, never really heard about that. Obviously Airbnb, but that is slightly different, isn't it? Because obviously with bed and breakfast, you get a meal in the morning and just a room in it, really. But anyway, but I don't know anybody. But I don't know. So I wrote down on the spill, so I put on here. I don't know anybody except Airbnb, and I know it's not easy because people seem to think anybody can set up an Airbnb. Um, but it does say on it. Yes, it is possible to open up a B&B in Spain, but it's not a simple process, which I can believe. You need to obtain special permits and approvals from the local and regional authorities, and the requirements can vary depending on the location and the specific type of accommodation you plan to offer. Because I know some places might even allow you to do it. A lot of the villages, they don't like competition here in Spain. And if somebody just down the road, old Fred Blogs that the mayor knows or whoever, they won't allow you to do it in the first place, even though the estate agent would probably say, "Oh yeah, bed and breakfast." These cave houses are the main sort of con. Loads of cave houses up for sale because they get sort of stung into this thing about, yeah, get a cave house, bed and breakfast, or Airbnb, but the licensing is nightmare. And if you watch my video on my other channel, Retiring to Spain, which was Chris and Lillian, they run an Airbnb. They had to jump through loads of hoops to even get the sign that they have to put up outside their property. Yeah, it's not easy. And the best thing to do is to get all that stuff done even when you're trying to buy the property, I presume, to see how easy it is. But it's not easy. But unfortunately, I don't know anybody. Right, I'm just having a quick look at the questions there. Right, Brian says, new bus service. This is the one we was talking about previously. New bus services from Corvera Airport to Condado, Camposol, and surrounding areas. Heard it was starting this week. Any update? It's already started, Brian. And to be honest, I couldn't get a link off their site to stick on my Expat Mazaron Facebook group. And all I know, if you look on Facebook, I'm talking about Beguntis, Camposol Facebook groups. It comes up there, and they've already started. I think a couple of people have already tried it out, but you've got to book it online. You can't just sort of wait at the bus stop and hopefully it'll turn up. It sounds like you have to book it online. You tell him what flight you got. How that works if the flight gets delayed, I don't know. But it supposedly picks you up from that airport, takes you to. I'm not too sure if it will take you to the house or is it just drop you off at certain places around, like on Camposol or the Mazaron Country Club or other places like the Condado and that. Because it's still very new, and obviously people will put up posts once they start using that system. But it is a new bus service. But I don't think you can just come out the airport and just hop on the bus. I think you've got to actually book it online. But I will, in the week, try and see if I can get a snippet and put that up onto my group page. My mum's got an Airbnb in Bournemouth, says Yabis. Well done. You know what? I haven't been down to Bournemouth for years. Lovely place. So, we got another one here. Right, Annika. Life in Spain is lovely, but are there things that you don't like about living in Spain? And to be honest, no, not really. Uh, what I love about Spain is it's not. I mean, yeah, things can get a little bit stressy, especially the paperwork side. When you want to get things sorted, it doesn't happen overnight, and in a sense, I like that. It's that laid back attitude. You go down the town hall to get a piece of paper, that padron thing. We're sorry to. Have you booked it in? Well, can we just do it now? Only cost me €2. No, no, you have to book it in, or come back tomorrow. You come back tomorrow, it's not open. But that's the way things are done here. And to be honest, at first it's a pain, but now okay. So I'll go over to the coffee place and have a cup of coffee and a chocolate bun, and then oh well, do it another day. I mean, I think what makes it better here is if as long as it's sunny. If it's a nice sunny day, you can make a day of it. Okay, so it's not open, no big deal. Life goes on. Go down to the beach or go down to the shops. So I mean, I just love it. I love it. I can't say that's for everybody, maybe, but hey, I'd rather have that relaxing life. I can always remember. I think another thing we always talk about when people go back to the UK is the traffic lights, roundabouts, stuck in traffic. Here, hardly get it. You do get traffic, obviously, when you go through like Murcia City and things like that. Yeah, that's a bit chaotic. Any big city would be, wouldn't it? But once you're out on the road, you're lucky to see a car sometimes, and that's what I like. Just stick your head out the window, enjoy. Okay, Sheila's got one now. I'm just having a quick look there. Right, I'll read that. I'll do that in a minute, Des. So Sheila's asking, do you know anything about the big swimming pool in Mazaron? Can anyone use it? Okay, so I can answer that one straight away. The big swimming pool that I know, I've never been there myself, but I know there is a big swimming pool. I think it's a community pool. Anybody can go in. You got to pay to go in, obviously. And it's as you drive through the Mazaron town down towards the port. There's a big roundabout with a massive Spanish flag on it. It's a sports complex, and you got like the football pitches in there. But as you drive in, the first building you see is a swimming. But what I think's better, just down the road from Camposol, is the Mazaron Country Club. They got a swimming pool, and I believe it's open now. And from what I've seen in the picture, I haven't been there. I'm not a great pool person myself, but from what I can see in the picture, it's got one of those blow-up slide things. So I suppose us old people could run down it. Anyway, I'll just read it here. The Mazaron Country Club swimming pool and bar. So I didn't know it had a bar. Is open for your use during the peak season. Now, I don't know what you mean by the peak season because it didn't say, but I'm sure I saw something the other day that it's open, but don't swear on that. But anybody living on the country club, chuck it in there. And it says that the approximate fee is €4 to €5 per person. Now, don't ask me about kids. I don't know. The money from the entrance fee helps to pay for the pool and the maintenance as well as a lifeguard. So that's a good thing to have, isn't it? If it's got a lifeguard there. I haven't been in there. I will have a look this year, have a nose around. And if I can get some more info on that, I will. But so yeah, try that out, Sheila. The Mazaron Country Club, which is just down the road, not far away. Why this guy that owns Mariano's, the restaurant, they got a swim. You can see the sign, public swimming pool, which is closed, obviously. He's got tennis courts around the back. He's got a big restaurant there, but he doesn't make much use of it. He's got a petang as well. He used to have a horse stable thing, which has been shut for years. But yeah, Mazaron Country Club swimming pool. Check it out. All right. So here we go. Des, have you met your new neighbours yet? No. Because they come about a couple of weeks ago, and I think they was only there for a couple of days. By the time we sort of got out into the garden saying, woo, they gone. So we'll see if we can catch them next, but they've gone away again. So I don't know what the setup is yet on what they're doing. Tranquila tickets on Condado are the local agents for the airport. Aha! So that's good to know, Tommy, because they've got an office on Camposol A next to the Cat Spa. So you could pop into the for the airport bus, Sean. You can book your airport bus tickets on their website. Oh, so you can actually go on to the tequila, tequila. Anyway, go onto their website. So that obviously gives you a link to it. So thank you much for that, Tommy. Annika is saying, at a certain age over 75, if you need to renew your driving license, do you need to have medical or do you have to have a sort of a driving test? That's a good question, that, because I'm coming near that age. As far as I know, as long as you haven't got any medical condition, and I'm on about if you've got a shaky leg or you've got something wrong with your eyeballs, you do. I mean, I've just done one recently. I've gone into they got like a proper official one down in the Mazaron town. I went in there. I think I paid €45. You go downstairs. He asks you some questions. You just say no because they don't speak English very well anyway. But you got your Google Translate, so you get the idea what's going on. It's obviously you've got something wrong with your eyes, and you've got to tell them, aren't you? There's an eye test there, and he points at the little letters, and you do that, and then you go into another room. Now, in the other room, I haven't done it yet because I've done renewed my license twice now. This is my second time I've done it. And you go in there, and they got one of these stupid little, like a PlayStation thing. There's a couple of knobbles on it. Anyway, it won't work in the game, thankfully, so I didn't do that. It's I think they call it the awareness thing. It's a bit like the old days where you used to play tennis in it, and you had to sort of work your way around with the finger would go across, and you tap it. Anyway, as far as I know, yet again, it's talk about you might need a proper medical, but end of the day, I think that's only if you have got a problem. If you can't see or you can't hear, then yeah, you probably will need a proper medical from the I don't know, from the doctors. But there's no at the moment here in Spain, and I think it's the same as UK, and that you can carry on driving the car um, until you can still reach the pedals, I suppose, isn't it? But no. What I will say with the 75 thing, and because I've got a lease car, the guy said to me after 75, I won't be able to lease a car anymore. So we're just going to have to use Jan's old jalopy or our old car, and we're just driving around in that. Yeah. So I think. Oh yeah. Do you ever go away on holiday? I'm on holiday, or just happy to stay at home by your own pool, says Deb. To be honest, yeah. I a funny thing is, isn't it? When I was in the UK, you always look forward to booking a holiday. We're talking about going abroad, isn't it? Like Italy or other places like that. But here in Spain, I don't really got an interest of going anywhere else. I mean, Spain's such a vast country. I mean, I go out exploring. I don't go out like for 3 or 4 days. I just go out for the day and come back home. But I know my wife, she's a bit of a holiday person. She's gone to Canada, but then that's just to see family. She's got a brother in Canada. She's obviously got family in France and Germany. But yeah, I've got no interest. I mean, I would love to see some places around the world, but every time I've been on a plane, I've come back home and I've been horribly ill. I think the last time I come back, I was ill for 2 months. So it hasn't given me much enthusiasm to make, okay, I don't mind going in the car, I suppose, but I don't go, on holiday in the sense of to catch some bug. When are you jumping in the pool, says Yabbis. Not yet, mate. I can safely say you will know when I go in that pool. And I can think we're talking June, mid-June at the earliest. Hello, Sean. We think up some questions. No, don't, because I've got enough here. And oh my God, I just looked at the time. We've only got a couple of minutes left. Right. So what I'm going to do then. Okay. Yeah, I just seen the time. Got it. Didn't half go quick. Then I'm going to have my hour. I'm sticking to the hour. Now, unfortunately, next Sunday there won't be a live show, guys, because I'm doing something. But I'll still do the 5 minute thing in the morning. And obviously next Sunday it's going to be their free sticker Sunday, 5 minutes. So I know Keith's saying you didn't get a notification. Guys, you just got to keep open it will notify you. But I will do that. But there won't be any a live thing next Sunday at 9 p.m. And I've still got some questions to get through. So, but don't worry, I'll bring that up on another time. I've got a couple more minutes left, so I'm just going to go through these bits here. Sure, your neighbour can be found outside Consum. Is that nah, that's not my neighbour. That's definitely not my neighbour, Colin. I would know. SK, Sean, do you still hang out with any of the explorers? I know Steve has been wrapped up with the shop. Yeah, of course, I still see, obviously, they're all my friends anyway. I mean, obviously, every now and again, we do go out for a meal, or we bump in and have a chat. So I still meet him, yeah. And obviously, Steve comes over, has a cup of tea, or I'll pop in and see Steve and Manny for a cup of tea in the shop. Obviously, not when they're working, because they do work hard. Sean, would you be tempted to buy another camper van to go around? No. Spain or maybe France. Now, you know what? We hired out that camper van. I hated it. I mean, I thought I would love it. Jan loves the idea of a camper van, but when I was driving around, I didn't enjoy it at all. I think the first couple of days, yeah, it was great, bit of fun. After the first week, I was just because the camper van was just too big. I don't know. It was a big camper van. It used to sway about. When it was windy, it'd be rocking about. Some of the sites that we went to, we had problems getting water, and we ran out of frigging gas here. And I thought camping gas was like international. We couldn't get a gas bottle. No, I didn't like it, and I think it was just another thing that come up. I'm suffering from claustrophobia. Right. Anyway, Colin just said it as well as he could. So I'm going to stop now. I'm going to mark where I got to. I think we got to this one. Right. Okay. So I've got some questions for the following Sunday, which would be on the 8th. So we'll be back on the 8th of June on the live blab. So I'm going to say adios, amigos. Thank you very much for popping in. Most appreciated. I've got 38 in the house, so I've got to have at least 38 likes, maybe. So adios, amigos. Hope you enjoyed yourselves. That's the main thing. And yeah, see you soon.